When you keep a poor performer on your team for longer than they should be, it starts to erode the culture of your team. And so
Yeah.
it's not just about you. If you hear two team members say the same thing, pay attention to that, man.
Yeah.
Hey there, welcome to Entrepreneurs with Heart. I'm Adria.
And I'm Sydney, and we're here to help you build a rock solid business so that you can kiss that 9-to-5 goodbye and turn your side hustle into your dream job.
So, if you're looking for down to earth advice from someone who's actually grown a business from scratch to 7 figures, you're in the right place.
We got the scoop on everything from growing your online presence, nailing email marketing, and even how to build your team without losing your mind.
Right? Plus, we'll dive into content marketing, website hacks, social media tricks, getting more traffic, staying productive, basically everything you need to know to grow your business without going back to school.
So, if you're ready to take the leap and make your side hustle your full-time gig, hit that follow button and let's get this journey started.
Hey, you guys, here we are again.
Once again, I'm torn into pieces. What's that Kelly Clarkson song?
Yes, that is a good song.
Good song.
Here I am once again. Now I'm torn into pieces.
I
La
forgot
la 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 la. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Yes, that is a great song.
But today we thought it would be really cool to just do a sit-down conversation about when to know when it's time to hire your first employee or help, and also when you know it's time to let someone go in your company.
Yeah.
And the feelings between that, because I think these are both tough decisions. Like choosing to hire someone and relinquish your control and putting your trust into someone with what is your baby and what you spent time growing and nurturing, and now it's like trusting someone who's gonna do a better job than you to help you, right? And then also letting someone go, like someone who has contributed to the company and who has played such a huge role, but are no longer
meeting the need.
Meeting the need.
Meeting the need.
It's so hard because you don't want,
Yeah, it's hard.
So I guess we'll start off with, how did you know it was time for you to hire Jasmine and I? Because Jasmine and I were her first.
Oh, geez. So basically, and I should have made that decision a lot sooner. I think that's why we're having this conversation. So I made a decision to hire you and Jasmine where it was just not physically possible I was overloaded. Orders were running behind. And so if you guys don't know, Eagle Slave went viral just out the blue. And I went from 0 orders to 1,000 orders to fill within 15 days. Correct. So it was just insane. And I'm still trying to keep up. And I didn't even have the time to stop and think about how to do things better. Just go, just not sleeping. And my challenge was I had never been in a situation where if I put in the hours, I couldn't get it done before. So I just thought I was physically capable of doing it. And I never should have let myself get to that point. So it was a rough situation. And I should have realized way before then that I needed to hire somebody.
So in hindsight, when would have been the time? Because like you said, it happened overnight.
It happened overnight. I don't think I hired you guys until... Was it like January?
I think in like December or something like that.
Yeah, that's when we went viral. So it went on way too long. But when you think about it, it was like a month after. And I think for me, it was watching the orders come in and just not knowing if this was going to continue to be a thing, right? Because when you hire somebody, you do have to put forth the effort in training and that sort of thing.
And also, you just don't want to like hire someone for like a month
just for like
just for it to be like
a thing.
Yeah, but it turned out to be
a thing. So now I'm thinking about it. When you think about it like that, like we went viral in December, hired you guys in January. Maybe I didn't wait too long.
I feel like you didn't, because I feel like the orders, it's just like when we were learning how to make the products and stuff, that's when I was like, the orders were just becoming more and more and more as we were working. And the nights became later and later and later for you and I. So I don't think, because like, I mean, this is just coming from like hindsight. I feel like it's not if it seems like it's like just a moment in time. I don't think it's a bad thing to just hire like a little family member, right? And just like pay them for their time to help me pack these orders for this week or one day, right?
Yeah.
And if it continues, maybe because like maybe you could have asked for help sooner because I was definitely around, Hannah was around, like we were all around,
right?
So maybe you could have been like, look, I'll pay you like $10 an hour or $15 an hour just to help me for this week. Yeah, you know what I mean,
right? Yeah,
and let's just see what we can get done. And then if it continues, that's when that month came in, right? And it didn't look like it was slowing down,
right? So yeah, so in hindsight, maybe it wasn't that terrible, and that's kind of what I did too. So I was still a full-time employee at MailChimp. Shout out to MailChimp for laying all the foundations. And so I reached out to a coworker, and her name is Kalita, but they call her Nikki, and that was Jasmine's sister.
Oh yeah,
and we're still cool now too. And Jasmine was great. She filled in that gap. She got a sort of sweetheart, filled in that gap.
Still my friend.
Still my makeup artist for a lot of occasions as well, which is great. Which leads us to the point of how do you know when it's time to release somebody and how to do it in a kind way? Because I am fortunate that, and this has been my entire career. I'm so thankful for everybody that I've had to terminate. We're still really cool. And that's every single person. And it's a double-edged sword, actually, because in each one of those cases, I felt like it put too much additional pressure on my team because they knew it was time for that person to go before I pulled the trigger. And I kept wanting to give them chance after chance after chance after chance. But I am kind of glad that I did, because when I did have to make the move, there was no second guessing on their part. And they were like, okay, like we've had chances, we haven't improved, and it was cool. So there wasn't any resentment, and then because of that, I feel that we are all in good terms.
Yeah. So I think I guess to narrow it down or to like put in a cute little
bow on it.
Yeah, little bow on it is just before you fire someone, make sure that they are aware of what they could possibly be fired for.
Yeah.
Right? Like communication's key. Following up is key. Them knowing and being aware of what they're doing is key.
Yeah.
And I think it's also fair, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to have somebody
shocked
or like expect someone to fix a problem that they don't know is a problem and haven't had a conversation about. Yeah, it's not fair. Cool.
So that's why I don't think we were doing one-on-ones then.
No, we weren't. I think we were so small though that like I think like you would just talk to us like we were like you know what I mean. It wasn't because like you were our manager, so
right? So now, you guys, what I do, I have a scorecard, and I can share this with you all too. If anybody's interested, just drop it in the comments. I have a scorecard, and so I have a one-on-one with my managers, and then they have one-on-ones with their folks as well. And the scorecard is really clear on what the expectations are, and you can grade it on that. And then we give a bonus every quarter that's directly tied to your scorecard. So there's no guessing on what you're supposed. And the scorecard is pulled exactly from the job description.
Nice.
You know,
yeah.
And if we tweak things throughout the years, whatever, then that goes into the next job description for that position. So everything's super clear. There's no surprises. You know what you're supposed to do, and you know how much bonus you're going to get at any given time.
Right.
So I really enjoy that a lot, and I think that is super helpful.
Yeah, I think it's also it's helpful for you to understand, and also for the employee to understand, and at least know that you're not just like not giving them a bonus, or you know what I mean, just because you don't like them. Right. It's like, no, this is backed by. I think it's also has been working really well when it comes to training managers, because I think Jason, my partner, I love him, my boyfriend, Jason, he uses it too, and it's been really he's so professional with the way he works things, and it makes it not personal, and it makes it feel more actionable.
It does. It makes it not personal at all. There's no shock. You know, when we have our one-on-one, you know exactly what we're going to talk about, and there's no confusion there, which is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
So I like that method a lot. Now, where things get to be tricky for me in the situation I'm in right now is with my outside help, my contractors, right? Mm-hmm. So with those folks, it's a little trickier for me. And I'm in a situation with 3 people right now. So one I have decided to let go. And that was not as tough because he wasn't on the team very long. What I have a hard time doing is, and it makes somebody not on payroll. I mean, I'm saying not on payroll, but not someone you're not paying on a regular basis, but they're like certain events that pop up and this person that you go to, right?
Yeah.
And making that decision to not go to that person anymore is really hard. Especially when you feel that there's a sense of loyalty there because they kind of helped you
get to
where you are, you know. And then like me, I even feel like a little bit of guilt, because I don't feel like I'm truly different or special or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the company's getting pretty successful. I'm pretty successful. And I have that thing.
I love it. Say it one more time. You're what?
I am successful. And so I'll have this why me type of moment, like why am I successful? This person is not coming up, and I really want to bring them along.
Yeah.
But I've realized that you can't force somebody to come along and to do better. And that's one thing.
Yeah.
That really I can't bring everybody along. Like you have to bring yourself along.
You have to want it for yourself. You have to see it for yourself. And
and that's hard for me.
Yeah.
But what I am learning to do is to have, and this is something I struggle with in corporate America also, is to have really clear conversations about expectations. That I'm learning to do even with my contract employees or partnerships and things like that. Like this is what I expect, and then having those frequent conversations on how we're doing here, our areas for improvement. This is something I was happy with this past month, something I'm not happy with this past month. And then that way and then even like, and I'm talking to myself as I'm thinking about this. So even with people that I may work with for a photo shoot or for a model call or for whatever that is, taking the time to have a retrospective after the event. That here's what went well, here's what didn't go well.
Yeah.
And if you do that a couple of times with that person and then they're like repeat offenses, then when you're no longer calling that person up, then there's not as much of a surprise because they know that this has been a consistent challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think communication is just key. I think also if it does end up becoming like an actual like conversation, like say you meet with this person every week or it's more frequent type of thing, I think it's also just like expressing your gratitude for what they did provide to the business.
Exactly.
I think that and just treating them like they're a person, like they did provide value, but maybe these are just a size 2 jeans that you've grown out of, you know what I mean? And now you just need something that's a better fit.
Yeah.
Like your PR agent.
And I think that's a great example. And I think what I've learned too, I think has been real helpful. So like, with Marissa, shout out to Marissa. She's been on the show. She's awesome. And we just went in 2 different directions. But I was genuine with her about some of the challenges that we were having. It wasn't a surprise, right? And most things, and this was not her fault. It was just I wanted someone who was local. She's in California. So that's what it boiled down to. But then also I think we'll see if she feels the same way, that it went a long way that I still refer people to her. You know?
Yeah.
And so I think that is something. And like with me and Chris, how it was like I terminated him and never saw him again. And he still feels comfortable coming up to the shop and getting products. And we're having lunch this week as well.
Oh my God,
so just keeping those lines of communication, even with BJ. Remember? Like he helped us with a moving situation. Yeah. So and he still wished me happy birthday as well. Like I wish him happy birthday. So I think just not letting someone who provided value to you, and they're still a person. Yeah. So they don't fall off the face of the earth. They're not dead to you. And I think that's what's been helpful as well.
Because it's not an all or nothing situation, and how you treat people, it genuinely matters. And I think just just showing your appreciation for them, letting them know that they did bring something to the table, and that it's not completely. I mean, sometimes it's not. but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't always them. You know what I mean? So I think also you just don't always have to burn every bridge just because they're not providing something for your business anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. They're still a person.
They're still a person.
Yeah.
And those connections still matter if you want them to, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's been helpful.
Yeah. I think
it is tough though. And I think I shared this in the last episode. What has been helping me lately.
Oh, your devotional, right?
My devotional. That's been cutting out the nonsense.
Can you rephrase it?
Yeah. So there's a verse in the Bible. There's two verses in the Bible. And the second one hit me when I was going to the gym this morning. Shout out to the YMCA. So the devotional verse yesterday was Colossians 3:23-24 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as reward, it is the Lord Christ you are serving. So I like that verse a lot because, as I was mentioning before, as a CEO, you don't have a direct manager. So if you did have a manager, you would have to give an account. Like there's a parable in the Bible too, where the master gave talents or like a seed or something to 3 people, and they had to come back and give a report of what they did with that.
Oh, I remember. There's like one person who didn't do anything with it. They just kept it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I really, in the back of my head, thinking that I'm going to have to give an account for my time, an account for my actions, an account for my employees, has been helpful for me lately. And then this morning, a verse that came to mind was the one where Christ said, I'm about my Father's business. And I think it's such a boss-ass statement that I almost want to get it and post it somewhere. And I'm about my Father's business. So don't come for me if I have to give you some hard feedback or make a hard decision, because this is not my business. This is God's business, and I am a manager of God's business.
Yeah.
And I have to give an account of what this business did. So it's like it's not personal, it's business.
Yeah.
And so I love that a lot, and that's really helped me get clarity. Like if I had to talk to God about why I let this person stay on payroll, what, like when I know that he stole from me or whatever, like what would I say? And then also I thought about this too, and this is powerful right here. Would I tell my friend to hire this person?
Yeah.
Like, would I tell my friend to hire this person? And I'm keeping that in the back of my head as well.
Yeah. Well, also, it depends on the friend though, right? Because let's say that there's someone who's providing something for you, like the Marissa situation. Right.
Yeah, for sure. So that's right. So of course, so you have to drill down the situation,
right? Because like they might be like not as far along as you are in your business,
right?
Or they're looking for like whatever,
right?
That person provides that you're not really looking for anymore. And then in that case, I guess,
yes, that's different.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about more your poor performers.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Your poor performers, like shout out to Jasmine, love her, makeup artist, amazing. But if I was talking to a friend in manufacturing, I would not recommend Jasmine as a worker in manufacturing. If my friend in manufacturing had a photo shoot, I would recommend Jasmine to be her makeup artist, hands down. But for that specific task, would I refer that person to them?
Right.
You know, and just being really, really clear about it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's helped me get some,
because that's your reputation.
That's your reputation.
So I was like, would you put your reputation on the line?
There you go.
For this person.
And then it became really emotional for me, which is, are you ready for this one?
I don't know.
I had a whole moment.
Oh, gosh.
Which was, why do I value my friend more than I value myself? That was something like, why is it so clear that if Tasha needed to hire a social media person, like I would never. But then why am I still paying this person then? Right? And why did it take me to have that conversation with myself for me even to realize? Right?
I feel like this gets into some deeper stuff.
Isn't it?
Because
it's like, why don't I value myself?
But it's not just like, clearly it's written down because it's something that a lot of people relate to. For some reason, we are willing to put ourselves in situations that are uncomfortable, but protect other people from those uncomfortable situations. Wow. When in reality, just like that person that we're protecting from that uncomfortable situation, we should be protecting ourselves that way.
And we know it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. And the thing is, when I think about it, I'm not sure why. Why is this
we do it in relationships all the time.
Yeah.
We will be dating somebody.
Yeah.
And we would never
recommend that person as a potential partner to somebody else.
Ever. Yeah. Or if our friend's boyfriend was doing the same thing that our boyfriend's doing to us, we would tell her to run the other way.
Yeah.
But we're still with the sucker.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just wonder, I think it's so I guess it's just really evaluating like your self-worth. And realizing and remembering that you are worthy of the best employees, the best treatment that is out there. And if that's not what you're getting, obviously treat a person like a person, let them know like, hey, this is, if they don't know what's going on, if they don't know they're doing something wrong, or if they're new, like I do think that there's some things, but I think there can only be a limited amount of excuses.
And to me also, I'm going to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
To me also is when it comes down to surrounding yourself with the right people as well. Mm-hmm. Because in all of these cases, my team members were like, why are
this person around? Yeah.
And when you keep a poor performer on your team for longer than they should be, it starts to erode the culture of your team. And so it's not just about you. Mm-hmm. You're affecting your entire team. Yeah. And then it gets to be nasty because it can be toxic because they can be talking about that person. Like it's not fair to anybody at that point.
It's not.
Yeah. So being self-aware, listening to your team. If you hear two team members say the same thing, pay attention to that, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention. And then that gut check of what I
that's the one. Because that's a yes or a no.
That's a yes or no.
I mean, it can't. In rare cases, it could be like no. It should really just be a yes or a no.
It's a yes or no.
Yeah, it should be a yes or a no. That's the ultimate check.
That's the ultimate check,
and just So I think that should also be just like a check-in for all employees,
for everyone. And you know what? Maybe I will add that to my one-on-one, not my conversation with myself at the end of it, my reflection after each one-on-one. Mm-hmm. It's like, would I still hire this person? Mm-hmm. Like, would if this person's resume showed up on, I'm looking for somebody, this person's resume showed up on Indeed, would I still hire that person?
Yeah.
That should be something. And then would I refer that person to my friend? And then would I give an account? Like, what kind of account to God am I going to give about why I'm paying his money to this person?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think when you stop viewing, we talked about this before, when you stop viewing your money as your money, mm-hmm. and you view it as the universe's or God's money, and you are the steward of that, you have to hold
on to it and make the right decisions with it.
Yep.
You look at it differently.
You look at it differently.
Same thing with like your business and realizing it's not your business.
Exactly.
And that God put this in your hands.
Like for a temporary time.
But because he trusted you.
Exactly.
And
what are you doing?
Yeah,
it's really good.
So I think I feel this is a good conversation.
I think it's a really good conversation. One more point.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and we talked about budgeting, I guess, a few episodes ago. Mm-hmm. So I've really been tightening up on my budget, and having some really great conversations with my team members about it. Mm-hmm. As well. And it's kind of along the same lines of being accountable, holding yourself accountable for every dollar and every decision. It's kind of along the same lines, and it's been really empowering.
Yeah, because you want to be proud of like, mm-hmm. Like for instance, the amount you paying, because I'm putting words in your mouth. So, this is just theoretically.
Yeah.
But like, I'm assuming you would be proud to pay Avery because of how hard he works. Amazing. And how much he brings to the table. Same thing with like Jason.
Right.
And so you want to have that pride. Like, you remember in The Secret, mm-hmm. how it's like talking about how you want to be proud to spend the money. There's a part, it's not like focused mm-hmm. on that, but there is a part in there where they talk about like you want to be proud of what you're like kind of like spending money on and investing things into. And I think your employees should be something that you take pride in.
Absolutely. And you want to send your money places. Like you want to be the master of your money. So I'm intentionally sending money places. You don't want to look at your books at the end of the month, which I did on Saturday. And I'm getting more habit of doing that and be like, oh, I don't remember buying that. No, then that means your money's out there just doing what it wants to do, right?
A little dance.
Doing a little dance. Why don't I have this? We had 2 subscriptions for the same app, under 2 different profiles.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like you want to treat your money as an employee also, right? And then you want to be monitored, have a one-on-one with that employee every month to see what are you doing for me?
Right.
What is your return on investment as well? So that's been really great too.
So how do you feel now about your situation?
With my budgeting?
No.
What
we were talking about, employees.
Oh, yeah. No, it was cut and dry because I was wavering back and forth, giving someone a second, third, fourth, fifth chance, and Corey's rolling his eyes at me. That happened yesterday. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ignore this. And then I felt like God was like really pushing me. So that happened. I got an email from someone who said, hey, I've been looking into this job. I think I can do this for you. The same job. Corey rolled his eyes at me.
Oh, why?
And then because of that person.
Oh, because you didn't take them?
Well, no, roll my eyes because I'm giving this person a chance after chance.
Oh, okay.
And then God hit me with the verse. And then with the second verse this morning. So after all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm just done. So that was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been good.
So I guess to wrap everything up, if you are in the position where you need to hire somebody, and you're not sure if it's going to be a permanent situation where you need a permanent employee, always think about like seeking a friend or a family member and then just like paying them hourly and seeing how it goes until you feel like you're ready to hire someone on full time, because you don't need to jump into making that full commitment if you feel like it's just going to be a phase. And then I guess when it comes to letting some of your employees go, especially for the first time or in general, make sure that you value yourself and your company. Make sure that open communication's there. They know what they should have been working on. They've given them
no surprises.
There's no surprises because you want to make it as fair as possible.
Yeah.
Make sure that you treat them like a person because they are a person, and that can still be a long-lasting relationship if you want it to be one.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to burn any bridges sometimes if it's not necessary.
Yeah.
And finally, just again, remember your worth. As a business owner, remember that you want to feel pride in supporting your employees as they support your business and keep your business afloat. So
yeah, having those key checks in the back. Would I hire this person again?
Would you refer them to a friend?
Would I refer this to a friend? What will I tell God when He says, "Hey, how's my business going?"
Yeah.
So keeping those things in the back of your head, I think are really powerful.
Really key. Awesome. Well, this was a really cool conversation.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, until next time, guys, this is Entrepreneurs of Heart, because we got them and you've got them too. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs of Heart. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment below and tell us what your takeaway was. Or if you're listening, take a screenshot and share it on social media with your takeaway. If you would like to leave us a review, head over to your favorite podcast app and give us a 5-star rating. This will help us reach more small business owners just like you, and your feedback helps others find our show.